What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Hi guys, welcome to Nicky's World. I'm Nicky, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about a couple of things here. First off, we gotta talk about Alec Baldwin. Now he's being charged with manslaughter for that shooting incident he did in New Mexico on a movie set. We gotta talk about that. And also, guys, we gotta talk about how the ATF is now making people who have pistol braced a felony, if they don't destroy it, turn it in or register it. We gotta talk about that because it's unconstitutional and it's quite frankly illegal. All right. And then also we gotta talk about how Facebook and Facebook-owned Instagram is screwing women left and right. I mean, holy cow. You know what I mean? We gotta talk about that and many more, guys. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nicky's World so much, seriously, guys, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I'm also on Locals, guys. If you guys want to support and sponsor this podcast show, if you guys love Nicky's World so much, seriously, guys, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review, good, bad, and the ugly, alright? And also, guys, I do have affiliate links with Shibari Study and eBay, so if you guys want to hook up with them, the link's in the description below, alright? And before we get the show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nicky's World, please feel free to share this across all the social media platforms that are out there today. Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, all right. It's Friday. I'm on the way to work. All right. I had podcast all this week because I was stacked up with medical appointments from Wednesday to today. I apologize, guys, if I didn't get a show out this week. All right, I'm sorry about that because I've been stacked up with medical appointments up the wazoo. Okay, so my apologies on that one, guys. All right, so. Anyway, guys, I do want to talk about Alec Baldwin. Boy, this anti-gun nut is about to go to prison. I got advice for Alec Baldwin here. Don't fucking drop the soap in the shower, dude. Don't fucking drop the soap, dude. It seems like this. The New Mexico Attorney General and the prosecutor have all decided to charge Alec Baldwin with manslaughter. We all knew, even though it was an accident, it was a criminal accident, because as anyone who owns a gun know, when someone hands you a gun, you have to do your due diligence, okay? You have to literally, basically, check and check and check again before you accept a firearm. That is the golden rule of gun safety and gun ownership. When someone hands you a gun, okay, whether it's loaded or not, you have to check. You have to check again, and check often. That's why they teach you this when you're going for your pistol permit class. That when an instructor hands you a pistol, you check for it. You check you check the magazine, check the chamber, okay? You clear the firearm. Simple as that, guys. Seems like Alec Baldwin committed the gun safety's cardinal rule, that you didn't check the gun when the armorer handed it to you. You didn't check to see if it was loaded, okay? You didn't check to see if they gave you what would have been a blank, but inadvertently loaded a live round. That should have been cleared in seconds. Obviously, this guy is going to be facing a mandatory prison sentence if convicted of 5 years. Mandatory. That means this boy is going to prison regardless. He's going to prison. He's going to be doing 5 years in a New Mexico State prison. Regardless, dude. This guy is motherfucking done. Okay? Now, 5 years mandatory, that is the state law. That is a mandatory state law for manslaughter. Which means if you killed someone, even though it was an accident, but you were culpable, you were responsible for it. Okay? So basically, he's going away, motherfucker. He's going away. Regardless, I'll say this. Alec Baldwin is going to be a convicted felon, regardless of what happens. He's going to be a convicted felon, and he won't be able to own firearms, period. He won't. He will not be allowed to own a gun. This guy, he screwed himself over. I don't care how good of a lawyer you have. If the Attorney General for New Mexico and the Chief State Attorney over there have an airtight case against him, he's fucked. He is fucked, motherfuckers. The boy is done. Because I tell you this, he's going away for a long time. You know, he's going away. Now, a long time could be a long time, but because the prosecutor, they all went to the grand jury and asked, do I have a case that I can prosecute Alec Baldwin on? They came back and said, yes, you do. You have an airtight case. The evidence you presented in front of the grand jury said that they have an airtight case. Because even though it was an accident, the sheriff, the New Mexico State Police investigated it, said, yeah, it was a tragic accident. But because he was responsible for that gun, when the armorer handed it to him, he was liable for it. He was considered liable and responsible for what he did. So which meant that even though it was an accident, that the armorer put a live round in it which she shouldn't have done, they're both going downhill with this. They're both going down with it. So pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Baldwin could be sitting in a New Mexico State prison, you know what I mean, for at least 5 years, which is the mandatory minimum. And I know the left will try to mitigate that. Well, it isn't that bad. It isn't that bad. Mandatory 5-year minimum. He'll have a criminal record, which means he'll be a convicted felon, which means now he will not be allowed to own and possess a gun because of his criminal conviction. The left does not know what they're fucking doing, ladies and gentlemen. The left does not know at all. It's like this. The left doesn't know what the right hand is doing, okay? They don't. They literally don't, guys. They don't know. But believe me, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, if you, me, or anyone else did what Alec Baldwin did, I guarantee you, in most states, we would be doing the mandatory minimum. Probably, I'm gonna say like this: 5 to 10 years, mandatory. That is right off the rip, right there. There is no mitigating this at sentencing or nothing. That when they say you got to do the mandatory minimum, you can't, even the judge can't mitigate that. So, pretty much, if you and I or anyone else did what Alec Baldwin did, ladies and gentlemen, we would all be fucked royally. We would be sitting in a cell block going like this: I'm fucked for the next 10 years. Or I'm going to say this: I'm fucked for the next 5 to 10 years. Pretty much. Because I'll say this. You and I, or anyone else, we wouldn't have high-powered lawyers like Alec Baldwin trying to mitigate it. But regardless, we'd be fucked royally. Okay? We would be fucked beyond all fucked. Because I'll tell you this, you can't mitigate manslaughter. You can't mitigate like an accident that caused the death of someone else. You can't mitigate that because you're basically like responsible. It's like, I'll give you an example, and here's a good example, guys. Let's say you're out driving, all right? All of a sudden you cause a 3 or 4 car accident, which one of them died. State troopers or the local PD is gonna throw your ass in handcuffs, throw your ass in a jail cell, and then you're gonna sit there and go like this: "Oh shit, we're fucked." Yeah, same thing what Alec Baldwin is probably thinking right now. He's fucked because under New Mexico law, that is a mandatory prison sentence. Mandatory. Even though they said, yeah, it was a tragic accident, but because he was held responsible for it, he held the gun, so he pulled the trigger and didn't know that was a live round in it. He fucked himself. Or as I say, it's like this: he cucked himself. Yeah. Pretty much, guys. He fucked himself royally. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Baldwin is done. His movie career is over. His acting career, he won't even, I'll tell you this, guys. He won't even be able to do a movie with a gun in it anymore because you know why? Because he's a convicted felon and he would not be allowed to. Yeah. The left, in my opinion, is basically, screwing themselves. Yeah. Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. Alright? Now, one thing I want to segue into talking about this. we all know about the ATF, the corrupt, like, alcohol and tobacco firearms agency. These people who should not be a government agency, but should be, a convenience store? Now they come out saying that, if you have a pistol brace on your rifle, you either have to turn it into law enforcement, you know what I mean, register it, pay the tax, and then get a tax stamp, or the worst part, guys, you either have to destroy it, or be subject to criminal conviction, and then be turned into a felon. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, the corrupt ATF is about to turn millions of gun owners who legally have a pistol brace into a felon if they don't comply with their illegal, unconstitutional mandate. In my opinion, and if I were Speaker Kevin McCarthy, I would fucking abolish the ATF in less than 5 seconds. I would strip them of their law enforcement powers and their regulatory powers. I would strip them in less than 5 seconds. Because this is nothing more than government overreach. Okay? This is basically anti-Second Amendment. Pretty much. In my opinion, gun control should be allowed at the state level. But should be protected by the Constitution, which means the Constitution says you have a right to own a gun. You have a right to defend yourself. Okay? You do. But the problem here is, guys, you have corrupt liberals, okay? You have corrupt Democrats who want to strip away your right to own a gun, who want to strip away your right to defend yourself. The fact of the matter is that the ATF that wants to turn you into a fucking felon for illegally owning a gun. And you know the one thing, I want to say this, those pistol braces, they were originally designed for disabled people who want to be able to shoot and own a gun. And the ATF is going to discriminate against those people. Many of them are veterans who were disabled by the wars that they fought for this country. And now the ATF is saying, oh no, you can't own a pistol brace. I'm saying like this. The ATF is corrupt. Just like the corrupt FBI. Basically like this. Just like our entire motherfucking United States government. It is as corrupt to the core. And it needs a top-down cleaning regardless. It needs, I'm going to say it like this. It needs a purging like no motherfucking tomorrow. It does, guys. It really does. Because essentially, guys, the ATF is going to make millions of legal law-abiding gun owners a convicted felon for owning a pistol brace that is helping disabled and veteran shooters. People who got disabled from the war, who can't be able to hold a gun safely without a pistol brace. The ATF is going to turn them into a felon? Oh, fuck no. Fuck no, man. Fuck no and fuck you. In my opinion, Congress, especially the GOP, should just come out immediately and say, nope, we're writing legislation that'll bar the ATF from enforcing it. We're going to strip the ATF of its regulatory and law enforcement powers. They're going to be subject to congressional review. That means any law that the ATF wants to propose or any ruling that the ATF wants to propose has to be subject to congressional review, and that should be like made into a federal law. Any government agency that wants to impose a regulation has to go before Congress, has to go before like a congressional hearing that is put on public record. Make the ATF director answer for why he wants to why he or she wants to make it a felony for owning a pistol breaks. Make him or her go on fucking public record on video explaining why he wants to do it, why he or she wants to do it. Because the second you got them on video, they can't fucking lie. They can't fucking weasel their ass out of it. They can't. So that's why it's like this. If it were up to me, I would subject every agency, whether local, state, federal, that they would have to go before a legislator. Okay? They would have to go before a legislator. Has to come up to a committee. Has to have public hearings. That means like this. Not only written, but also in person. So if you propose something, or if you're for something and you write to your congressman or your legislator saying that I'm all for this and this and this, you have to come before the committee and explain it. Simple as that. Because these bureaucrats that want to do this shit without oversight, I say like this. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you, and fuck you on the horse that you motherfucking rode on. Simple as that. This is why I am all for abolishing the ATF. Get rid of their regulatory and law enforcement powers, and just hand it over to the states. Let the states handle it. That's what states' rights is for. Okay? That is what states' rights is all about. Now the left is all about centralized power, which means they want to empower the federal government and weaken the states. In my opinion, it should be the other way around. Weaken the federal government and empower the states. That's what should be happening right now, guys. That is what should be happening to the ATF. Alright? That should. Now, one thing I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this ongoing scandal with Joe Biden, okay? And the Biden crime family. I want to talk about this, guys, because it seems now you got the liberal media turning against the Biden crime family. They're starting to flip on this guy. They are. They're flipping on this guy because they know he's damaged goods. He is damaged beyond repair. It's like Senator Kennedy from Louisiana said, there ain't enough hazmat suits to clean up the mess that Joe Biden got himself into. This is one mess that Joe Biden isn't able to recover from, guys. The Democrats know this. The liberal media knows this. The liberal social media and the liberal pundits know this. They know he's done. He's fatally wounded, and they're not. And it seems they're starting to turn against him, which means they're turning against this guy, and he's finished. He is literally finished. I wouldn't be surprised if his own liberal pundits, his own liberal Democrats, the liberal media, and the liberal social media turn against him and basically call for him to be removed, impeached, or even invoking the 25th Amendment on him. I wouldn't be surprised right now. I wouldn't be, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you this right now. Even today on Breitbart, which I'll link in the description below, guys, they're starting to flip on him. They're starting to turn against him. They are literally turning their back against him. He's done. He's essentially, his goose is cooked. Essentially, guys, he's fatally and mortally wounded. He's basically got himself in a corner with no fucking way out. I'll say this. He is wounded. He is mortally and fatally wounded. His base is turning against him. Okay? Even the hapless, like, communist news network is already turning against him. He's done. He's basically finished. He's basically done. I can't see him recovering from this. I can't. Okay? Even the liberal media, like CBS, when they first broke this story and they started asking questions, he's done. He is done. Okay? They're finally starting to realize that you can't carry the water for this guy anymore. This guy's damaged goods. He's damaged beyond all damage. He is, guys. He is. And it doesn't surprise me that they're turning their back against him. It doesn't, guys. Because I'm telling you this right now, he's finished. He's literally finished and basically done. He is. For the liberal media, liberal social media, and the liberal pundits that have been covering for him, carrying his water, trying to excuse him all the time, I think this is the straw that broke the fucking camel's back. I think this is the nail in the coffin that is finally waking people up and saying, look, this guy's done. This guy's damaged goods. This guy has no way of ever recovering from this. He has no out in this, guys. He has none whatsoever. He doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. And what this says to me, guys, is that they're starting to turn on him. He's fatally, mortally wounded. You look at that. You look at his like press secretary, that hack, like Pierre. She can't cover. She can't. She's trying to lie for this guy and trying to carry the water for this like liar. But you know she ain't gonna be able to carry that water any longer. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be able to cover for this guy any longer because look at it like this: the liberal media is already turning against him. All right, liberal pundits are already starting to question it. Okay, you're starting to see the liberal pundits already saying like this: look, I can't cover for this guy any longer. I can't excuse what he's doing any longer. He's done. He's finished. Now the question is, how soon are they going to start talking about demanding impeachment hearings and demanding the 25th Amendment on him? How long? Right now it's January. Wouldn't be surprised if they start talking about this, say, sometime by spring or summer, and then by summer we're hearing that they're pushing for impeachment. would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. I would not be surprised at all. I wouldn't be, guys, because I'll tell you this: if this is the direction that the liberals are doing, because they're turning on Joe Biden right now, they're flipping against him right now, and they're basically starting to come around and saying we can't carry the water for this guy anymore. We can't protect this guy. He's mortally and fatally wounded. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. We're starting to see the end of the Pino, the illegitimate president and the illegitimate administration. We're starting to see the end of it. We literally are, guys. I'm telling you this. We are going to see the end of the illegitimate administration. We literally are. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. He's done. He's mortally wounded, done, finished. He has no out left. He has none, guys. He literally does not have any. Okay? He doesn't. So he's basically finished. He has no room left. Okay? And in my opinion, I think the reason why these classified documents that Biden's holding, that's coming out the light, I think they're doing this, in my opinion, is because they don't want him to run in 2024. Okay? They want him to step aside, because my opinion is Democrats are pushing Gavin Newsom in California to run. And I don't think this country doesn't want to be turned into another California. No. So that's why I think they're trying to push Biden out, because they don't want him to run, and they want Gavin Newsom in. Yeah. Put 2 plus 2 together, guys, and do some detective work. You'll figure out why Democrats and like liberals are doing this. Put 2 plus 2. All right. Anyway, before we go, I want to talk about this. I did this story a while back. How like Facebook and Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, by the way, how their oversight board said that now you have to allow like nudity or like women to show breasts or for women who are like trans or non-binary. Problem is with that, guys, guess who they screwed the pooch? Guess who Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg screwed, ladies and gentlemen? Guess who they screwed over? Royally, guys. Guess who they screwed? I'll give you a hint. It's not trans. It's not non-binary people. It's basically biological women. Yeah, it is. It is basically biological women. Because you know why? Facebook's oversight board, which is what? Facebook's court, said that you have to come out with a new policy that allows for women to show their breasts or for nudity that conforms with international human rights, and that caters to the transgender people and non-binary. So essentially, guys, they're just saying like this: screw the biological women. We're gonna allow these people to be able to show their fake man boobs, okay, or to go topless only if they claim they're trans. So they just screwed over every biological woman in the book, okay? They screwed them over fucking royally. They did. They screwed them to death. And then they're saying like, oh, well, we only allow women if they claim to be trans to be able to show the show pictures of themselves topless on Facebook and Instagram. But if you're a biological woman with XX chromosomes and XX DNA, full natural born woman, oh, you can't do that. We're gonna call it porn and all this. We're gonna block you, suspend you, deplatform you, and all this shit. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this many times. Basically, Facebook, which basically owns Facebook, or Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. They screwed the pooch. They screwed over biological women. They screwed women royally. They did. And I don't know for the life of me how many people are celebrating this, saying, oh, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. No, it isn't. It's not a good thing. Because you know why? Facebook just basically says women aren't women if they claim to be trans. But if you're a biological woman, a biological naturally born woman who wants to show body acceptance and topless, Facebook's going to say, oh, no, you can't do that. That's nudity. That's this. We're going to block you. We're going to ban you. But if you're a trans, quote, or male-identified trans, okay, and you want to show, like your fake boob and all that shit, Facebook and Instagram will be like, oh, great, come on in, we'll let you do it. But they screwed the pooch, guys. They screwed the pooch royally. They screwed biological women up the wazoo. They screwed them so badly that I sit there and I go, what fucking woman is okay with this shit? What fucking woman is okay with the fact that Facebook screwed you over and you thought that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to do nude art or like basically show about being nude, being accepted, but Facebook is saying, well, you have to say you're trans or non-binary to do that. But if you're a biological woman or a cisgender woman, oh no, that is nudity, that is porn, that is this, and this. And that's going to get you blocked for 30 days, suspended, deplatformed, or even have your account taken out entirely. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I've been saying this for a motherfucking long time. Get your fucking ass out of Facebook and everything that Facebook or Meta owns, like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Get your asses out of there. Simply put, guys, you need to go to alternative social media sites like MeWe, Minds, okay, or Getter, or Rumble, or Vero. You need to, guys, because Facebook and everything that Facebook owns hates biological women, but they rather cater and pander to men who claim to be women, or like men or women who claim to be neither. Basically, guys, this is why Facebook screwed themselves over. Okay, basically, Facebook just said to biological women, well, you don't exist unless you claim to be this and this and this. Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. And this is why every biological woman out there is getting fucked over and screwed over by Meta, which owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, that you people need to fucking get away from these platforms as fast as you can, guys. Get the fuck away from these platforms. These platforms don't care about you unless you fall into these like special interest groups that they protect. Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. All right. So, anyway, guys, I'm here at Cumberland Farms, guys. I got to get my cup of coffee, do a diaper check before I go in and download and upload a plane. All right. So, anyway, I thank you guys for listening to Nicky's World. I'm Nicky, your host. Stay sane, stay safe out there. I'll see y'all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nicky's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.